Question number 1. Once the project's WDS has been created, what process may happen next? A. Estimate activity resources. B. Define activities. C. Estimate activity durations. D. Sequence activities. Define activities. C. Estimate activity durations. D. Sequence activities. Answer is B. Explanation. The define activities process is the process that may begin once the project's WDS has been completed and possible, in some projects, to complete the WDS and the activity list at the same time. Answered option D is incorrect. Sequencing the activities cannot happen until the activity list has been created. Answered option B is incorrect. Estimating activity resources is dependent on the activity list, so not valid. Answered option C is incorrect. Estimate activity durations are dependent on the activity list, so this choice is not valid. Question number 2. Which of the following scheduling techniques identifies the successor activities and the predecessor activities to assist the project manager in sequencing the project work? A. Precedence diagramming method. B. Schedule network template. C. Dependency determination. D. Activity on the node. Answer A. Explanation. The precedence diagramming method uses both predecessors and successors as nodes in a project network diagram. The PDM approach is the most common network diagram approach used and identifies the order of the project work. Answered option B is incorrect. The schedule network template is a tool that uses the previous project network diagram as a base for the current project network diagram. Answered option D is incorrect. Activity on the node places activities on circles within a network diagram. It is an example of the precedence diagramming method. Question number 3. You are the project manager of the NHGQ project for your company. You must create and distribute performance reports to your key project stakeholders. What communication technique do you normally use to distribute reports? A. Push technique. B. Many-to-many. C. One-to-one. D. Pull technique. Answer A. Explanation. Performance reports are distributed through the push technique. This means that the project manager distributes the reports regularly through a mechanism, such as email. Answered option C is incorrect. One-to-one technique describes a conversation between two people. Answered option B is incorrect. Many-to-many technique describes a conversation between many people. Answered option D is incorrect. The pull technique describes the recipients of the report pulling the information, such as from a website. Question. Your project team is executing the project plan and things are going well. Your team has reached its first milestone and is now in the second phase of the project. The project stakeholders have requested that you find the method to reduce the duration of the project. They will reward you and your project team with a 25% bonus of the project costs if you can't finish the project 30 days earlier than what was already planned. The stakeholders, however, will not approve any additional labor costs as part of the agreement. Which approach could you use to shorten the duration of the project? A. Perform resource leveling for the project. B. Crash the project schedule. C. Fast track the project. D. Remove things from the project scope. Answer C. Explanation. Fast tracking is a technique for compressing project phases are overlapped that would normally be done in sequence. It is shortening the project schedule without reducing the project scope. It does not add any additional labor, but it can introduce project risks. Answered option D is incorrect. Removing things from the project scope can reduce the project duration, but it will not satisfy the requirements the stakeholders have identified. Answer option but is incorrect. Resource leveling can actually increase the project duration. Answer option B is incorrect. Crashing can reduce the project duration but it increases the labor expense, something the stakeholders won't approve. Question number 5. The defined activities process is the first process in the project. Time management knowledge are the defined activities process creates just 3 outputs as a result of decomposition, rolling wave template, and expert judgment. Which one of the following is not an output of the defined activities process? A. Activity list. B. Milestone list. C. Activity attributes. D. Project document updates. Explanation. Project document updates are not an output of the defined activities process. Project document updates are the outputs for estimate activity resources. Project document updates include the following: activity list, activity attributes, resource calendars. Answer option but is incorrect. The activity list is an output of the defined activities process. Answer option C is incorrect. The activity attributes is an output of the defined activities process. Answer option B is incorrect. A milestone list is an output of the defined activities process. Activities process. Question number 6. You are working with your project team to create the schedule baseline for your project. You will also be creating the schedule data for this project. The schedule data typically includes Alt 1. Grave accent. A. Risk activities. B. Schedule activities. C. Activity attributes. D. Schedule milestones. Answer. A. Explanation. Risk activity part of the schedule data. Risk is documented in the risk register, and monitored and controlled throughout the project. In some instances, risk may be part of the activity attributes. The schedule data includes the schedule milestones, schedule activities, activity attributes, and the assumptions and constraints. Schedule data includes the schedule activities, schedule milestones, activity attributes, and documentation of all known assumptions and constraints. The sum of additional data varies by application area. The schedule data commonly supplied as supporting details includes resource requirement by time period, frequently in the category of histogram alternative schedules, such as best case or worst case, the resource leveled, with or without imposed date scheduling of contingency reserves. Answered option D is incorrect. Schedule milestones are part of the schedule data. Answered option B is incorrect. Schedule activities are part of the schedule data. Answered option C is incorrect. Activity attributes are part of the schedule data. Question number 7. Which of the following best describes what a milestone is? A. The significant point in the project. B. A goal of reaching the significant delivery of project benefits by an identified date. C. An imposed date for the project to reach the given point. D. The completion of a project activity that is crucial to project completion. Answer A. Explanation. A milestone is simply the significant point or event in the project. Not have to be assigned to a specific date, but is usually assigned to the completion of project phases. A milestone is the end of a stage that marks the completion of a work package or phase, typically marked by a high-level event such as completion, endorsement or signing of a deliverable, document or a high-level review meeting. In addition to signaling the completion of a key deliverable, a milestone may also signify an important decision or the derivation of a critical piece of information, which outlines or affects the future of a project. In this sense, a milestone not only signifies distance traveled but also indicates direction of travel, since key decisions made at milestones may alter the route through the project plan. To create a milestone, enter 0 in the duration field. The task will automatically be classified as a milestone. Answered option C is incorrect. This is a project constraint. Answered option B is incorrect. A project goal is objective for time, cost, scope, and other metrics. Answered option D is incorrect. All activities must be completed in order to complete the project work. Activities that are not completed are quality issues that prevent the project from completing the project scope. Question number 8. If management wants you to create a process improvement plan for your project, your project will be studied by management and will become a standard for all future organizational projects based on your project's performance, approach, and implementation of project. All of the following should be included in your project's process improvement plan except for which one? A. Process boundaries. B. Process configuration. C. Targets for improved performance. D. Identification of project risks. Answer D. Explanation. Identification of the project risks is not part of the process improvement plan. Identify risks is a risk management process, and risks are recorded in the risk register. Answered options A, B, and C are incorrect. Process duration and targets for improved performance are parts of the process improvement plan. Question number 9. Project has a budget of $778,000. The project is scheduled to last for 1 year with an equal amount of work completed each quarter. The second quarter of the project has ended and George has spent $325,000 but has only finished 40% of the project. Management needs the variance report for the project schedule. What value should George report in this instance? A. 0.96. B. $76,800. C. $34,500. D. $13,800. Answer B. Explanation. Schedule variance is a measure of schedule performance on a project. The variance notifies that the schedule is ahead or behind what was planned for this period in time. The schedule variance is calculated based on the following formula. PMI equals earned value, planned value. If the resulting schedule is negative, it indicates that the project is behind schedule. The value greater than 0 shows that the project is ahead of the planned schedule. A value of 0 indicates that the project is right on target. The earned value in this instance is 40% of the project budget, $778,000. And the planned value is $398,000. George is to be 50% done at the end of the second quarter, as the work is spread evenly across all quarters. The schedule variance is $77,800 for the project. Answered option B is incorrect. 0.96 represents a cost performance index. Answered option C is incorrect. $34,500 represents the project's variance at completion if the project continues as is. Answered option D is incorrect. $13,800 is the cost variance for the project. Question number 10. Management has set a conformance to the project schedule for your project at 0.95. What does this term mean? A. It means the largest schedule variance you can have is 5%. B. It is the earned value divided by the planned value for your project. C. It is the expectation of management to be 95 on schedule at 95% of the project. D. It means you will need to earn at least 95 cents per dollar invested in the project. Answer A. Explanation. Conformance to schedule is a required adherence for the project's schedule. In this instance, the project manager must not allow the schedule to slip more than 5%. Answered option B is incorrect. This is the description of the Schedule Performance Index. Answered option D is incorrect. This is the description of the Cost Performance Index. Answered option C is incorrect. This is not a valid statement about the project performance. Question number 11. Which one of the following estimate types is a form of expert judgment? A. Parametric estimate. B. Analogous estimate. C. Bottom-up estimate. D. Definitive estimate. Bottom-up estimate. The definitive estimate. Answer B. Explanation. An analogous estimate is a form of expert judgment because it relies on historical information. The historical information, assuming that it is accurate to the expert that created the historical information. Answered option C is incorrect. The bottom-up estimate creates an activity duration estimate for each work package in the WDS. Answered option B is incorrect. Parametric estimating uses a parameter, such as 10 hours per fixture installation, as a base to predict the duration of the project. Answered option D is incorrect. The definitive estimate, also known as a bottom-up estimate, accounts for the cost of each work package. Question number 12. You are the project manager of the NHA project. This project is expected to last 1 year with quarterly milestones throughout the year. Your project is supposed to be at the 3rd milestone today, but you're likely only 60% complete. Your project has a back of $745,000 and you've spent $440,000 of the budget to date. What is your schedule performance index for this project? A 0.8, B 1.02, C 102, D 0.80, 0.80. Answer D. Explanation. The schedule performance index can be found by dividing the earned value by the planned value. $147,000 divided by the $558,750 for a value of 0.80. Schedule performance index is the measure of schedule efficiency on a project. It is used in trend analysis to predict future performance. If the STI value is greater than 1, it's better than expected performance, whereas if the value is less than 1, it shows poor performance. The STI value of 1 indicates that the project is right on target. Answered option B is incorrect. 80 is not the same value as 0.8. Answer option B is incorrect. 1.02 is the cost performance index. Answered option C is incorrect. 102 is not a valid calculation for this question. Question number 13. Fill in the blank with an appropriate phrase. B includes a description of any collateral services required, such as performance reporting or post-pro. B includes a description of any collateral services required, such as performance reporting or post-project operational support for the procured item. Answer. Procurement cell. Explanation. The procurement cell consists of a description of some collateral services required, such as performance reporting or post-project operational support for the procurement cell is revised and refined as required when it moves through the procurement process until incorporated into a signed contract award. Question number 14. Mark is the project manager. He is happily reporting that his project has a schedule performance index of 2.12. Management, however, does not think this is good news. What is the most likely reason why management does not like an STI of 2.12? It is not good news because a larger number means the schedule duration estimates were likely to be wrong to begin with. B. They likely do not understand the STI formula. C. It is not good news, as the number should be closer to 100 than 0. D. It is good news, but Mark may have large cost variances to achieve this value. Answer A. Explanation. Cost and schedule performance indexes should be as close to 1 as possible. A larger value, such as 2.12, means that the schedule duration estimates were likely low to begin with. Answered option B is incorrect. This is not the best choice for this question. Answered option C is incorrect. The number should not be close to 100, it should be close to 1. Answered option D is incorrect. Wildmark may have crashed the schedule and driven up costs to achieve the STI value. The more likely reason is that the time estimates were bloated. Question number 15. Beth is the project manager. Sarah is Beth's administrative assistant and Ben is the project team leader. Beth's project has 8 virtual teams throughout the world that will be working on the activities relevant to the deliverables in their locales. Thomas, the project sponsor, has told Beth that he is to be kept abreast of all communication between her stakeholders. In this project, who is the lead person responsible for communication with all stakeholders? A. Thomas, B. Sarah, C. Each of the team leaders for the 8 virtual teams, D. Beth. Answer D. Explanation. Beth, the project manager, is responsible for communication with all stakeholders. The project manager occupies the center of the interactions between stakeholders and the project itself. Answered option B is incorrect. Sarah may help with the communications, but she is not responsible for the communications. Answered option B is incorrect. Thomas, the project sponsor, just needs to be kept abreast of the information. Answered option C is incorrect. The project team leaders for the virtual sites are not responsible for. Question number 16. What is the main output of the Identify Stakeholders process? A. Communications Management Plan. B. Stakeholder Register. C. Requirements. D. Stakeholder Management Strategy. D. Stakeholder Management Strategy. Answer B. Explanation. The main output of the Identify Stakeholders process is the Stakeholder Register, document that contains a list of the stakeholders associated with the project. It assesses how they are involved in the project and identifies what role they play in the organization. The information in this document can be very perceptive and is meant for limited exchange only. It also contains relevant information about the stakeholders, such as their requirements, expectations, and influence on the project. Answered option B is incorrect. The Communications Management Plan is an output of communications planning. Answered option D is incorrect. The Stakeholder Management Strategy is an output of stakeholder identification, but it is not the main output. Answered option C is incorrect. Requirements are not an output of the stakeholder identification process. Question number 17. Management has asked you not to communicate performance unless the CPI is less than 0.96 or the STI is below 0.98. What type of report would you create for management if these instances develop in your project? A. Develop in your project. A. Cost variance report. B. Exceptions report. C. Performance management report. D. Schedule variance report. Answer B. Explanation. The best answer is simply an exception report. An exception report refers and documents the major mistakes, mishaps, and goofs. In other words, it itemizes the important and critically significant piece of documentation that is vital to the proper and effective functioning of a project. It does not document what has gone right, but rather documents what has gone wrong. Answered option C is incorrect. The performance management report is not a valid project management report. Answered option A is incorrect. The question is asked about cost and schedule, so this answer would not be appropriate for both the cost and the schedule. Option B is incorrect. The question is asked about cost and schedule, so this answer would not be appropriate for both the cost and the schedule. Question number 18. Your project is running late by 10% of where you should be at this time. Management is concerned. Considering that the project has a back of $567,899, you are 30% complete, and you have spent $179,450. What is this project's to complete performance index based on the current back? A 1.02, B 0.010, C 0.75, D 0.95. Answer. The explanation. This project is not performing well on schedule, but moderately well on costs. The project's to complete performance index based on the current back is 1.02. To complete performance index indicates the future required cost efficiency needed to achieve. Once approved, the estimate at complete supersedes the budget at complete as the cost performance goal. Answered option D is incorrect. 0.95 is the project's TCPI value based on the estimate at completion. Answered option C is incorrect. 0.75 is the project's schedule performance index. Answered option B is incorrect. 0.010 is not a valid calculation. Question number 19. Which of the following is a tool and technique for the schedule development process? A. Schedule compression. B. Reserve analysis. C. Variance analysis. D. Expert judgment. Answer. A. Explanation. Schedule compression is a tool used as part of the schedule development process. The tools and techniques for schedule development are as follows. Schedule network analysis, critical path method, critical chain method, resource leveling, what if scenario analysis, applying leads and lags, schedule compression, scheduling tool. Answered options D, B, correct. These are not tools and techniques for schedule development. Question number 20. You have recorded the following duration estimates for an activity in your project. Optimistic 20, most likely 45, pessimistic 90. What time will you record for this activity? A. 48, B. 20 on, 45 m, 5 m, 90 pc 90, D. 45. Answer. A. Explanation. This is an example of a 3-point estimate. The 3-point estimate records the optimistic, most likely, and the pessimistic duration, and then records an average for the predicted duration. 3-point estimate is a way to enhance the accuracy of activity duration estimates. This concept is originated with the program evaluation and review technique. PERT charts the following 3 estimates. Most likely duration of activity based on realistic factors such as resources assigned, interruptions, etc. Optimistic. The activity duration based on the best case scenario. Pessimistic. The activity duration based on the worst case scenario. The expected activity duration is a weighted average of these 3 estimates. Equals optimistic plus for most likely plus pessimistic, divided by 6. Answered options B, C, and D are incorrect. These are not the valid answers for this question.